Today is about the best perfumes that I have in my collection, my perfume collection specifically. I have quite a lot of perfumes. Most of them are samples, but some of them are full bottles. And this video is not just what I prefer, my favorite out of this collection. It's also about what perfumes have the best performance, the highest quality, and just best overall out of my entire collection. So this took some time for me to put together, but I think I have a pretty nice collection or selection from my collection. So I'll start with pretty much my favorite, which is, this is a small sample of it. This is Le du Temps by Nina Ricci. This came out in 1948, so kind of a vintage fragrance. And it does have a lot of similarities to Chanel No. 5, but I would argue it's a bit warmer. It doesn't have the civet note that Chanel has, and it's just a very nice, feminine perfume, but not as light as you would expect from your typical floral perfume, because it has, ylang ylang, some wood notes, some nice warming notes to really ground it and make it longer lasting and more just kind of attractive. So that's definitely one of my favorites. It also lasts a surprisingly long time because a lot of floral fragrances don't last that long, but this one does. Especially a lot of older fragrances tend to last longer than modern ones. I don't know why that is. Maybe they used different methods of creating perfumes, but anyway, Le du Temps is really a classic. Apparently the actress Ingrid Bergman used to wear it. It was her favorite scent. So it's just a really wonderful, elegant, classic scent. So I definitely had to put that on my list. Then another one which I think is performance-wise great, fantastic, and also just the way it smells is really wonderful as well, which is Chanel No. 5. And as I said, this is similar to Le du Temps, except for some of the base notes, specifically the civet. This used to use real civet from civet animals, the glands. They would produce this very musky scent. For me, I'm not too crazy about civet. I don't dislike it, but I'm not crazy about it. So I could go without it. That's pretty much why I like Le du Temps so much. But the good thing about this, the civet note is kind of smoothed out by some sandalwood notes, some amber notes, general musk, that sort of thing. And the florals as well. It's just a really elegant, high-class sort of perfume. And it's been around since 1921, so it's around still for a good reason. And in general, Chanel No. 5 is the go-to fragrance. You can't go wrong with it. I really don't know anyone who dislikes Chanel No. 5. Pretty much everyone I've seen and talked to, they like it. So, and as with Le du Temps, it's surprisingly long-lasting for being a floral fragrance, again because of those heavier base notes, the civet, the musk, the wood notes. It's gonna make it last longer. So definitely a really good option. Probably last all day, probably 8 hours. Then, kind of something maybe a little off the beaten path, at least in the women's perfume industry, Dior Homme Original. This is technically a men's fragrance, but I'm classifying it as a unisex fragrance because it has a very delightful iris note. And you don't often find iris in men's perfumes or fragrances. And that simple iris note combined with a cardamom note and vetiver note make this sort of a lightly sweet, spicy, clean and fresh sort of fragrance. Kind of reminds me of a fresh, crisp spring day. And it also has an air of formality about it. Kind of like, I don't know, a businessman or a businesswoman would wear this probably. Very good performance, very high quality. As soon as you spray it on, you're like, this is top shelf stuff. And of course, being from Dior, you should expect that. So definitely high up on my list there. Followed by another very high class French perfume, which is, this is a small sample of Baccarat Rouge 540. sample is so small because it's so expensive. I think the full bottle is probably $200 to $300, so definitely on the more expensive side. However, this fragrance is one of the strongest I have yet encountered, and that's saying something because I've tried a lot of perfumes. The thing about Baccarat Rouge 540 is that it just fills up the room. I put on a fraction of what is inside that sample, and it just filled up the room. People could smell it across the house. It's just a really powerful fragrance. It has mainly notes of saffron, fir, cedar, that sort of thing. So that saffron note is very appealing. It has a very unique warmth. Spicy, but not too spicy, not like cloves or anything. And then the wood notes really bring it together, warm it up. And then there's also some sweet notes in there, which make it unique. And that combination between the spice and the sweet, I think, pretty much amplifies how powerful it is. And it's just a high quality perfume. It'll last forever. It has great projection, great scent trail. The downside is the price, but if you are looking for a good perfume, people are willing to pay anything for something that will actually perform well. Because there's nothing worse than spending a bunch of money on a perfume that disappears as soon after you spray it. So this will definitely not disappear after you spray it. You'll have to like put some steel wool to your skin if you want to get this stuff off. So definitely high quality overall Baccarat Rouge. And then the last one, which arguably is not as popular as it once was, but I still really like it, and I think it deserves to be on this list, is Youth Dew by Estee Lauder. This is a very, very, very powerful, spicy perfume. Notes of clove, cinnamon, wood notes, musk. Overall, this is a bullet waiting to escape the barrel. When I first put it on, I put on too much, and I got a headache, and I'm like, what did I do? So next time I tried it, I put on way less, and it was much more enjoyable. So you have to be careful when using this, because it's very, very potent. But, well actually, in my opinion, potency is a good thing. You just have to figure out how to use it. It'll last all day, super powerful. Great projection, similar to Baccarat Rouge, it'll just fill up the room. Great scent trail, and it's way more affordable than most of these other options. I think I got mine for $30 or $40, so definitely more affordable. And you're getting great just performance overall. It's an older perfume. It came out in 1953. Some people might not like that older style. I think it's great. It's very unique, especially these days when perfumes are much different than how they used to be. So, overall, those are my opinion, the best perfumes in my fragrance collection. And if you have any opinions about these, you can leave those down in the comments below. If you like the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.